up. It's part of becoming. Well, what's the difference between experiencing anxiety and having an anxiety disorder? What do you think? I was so excited about tapping, and I texted my good friend, little Sydney McCarran, and I said, have you ever heard of tapping? And I could see him rolling his eyes, because in about 2 seconds, he sent me this professional video of Sid doing tapping. So I asked him to please lead you through some tapping. But before I do, I'm going to just tell you what the research says, because remember, I'm doing the science, they're doing the art, right? So the research says this: tapping, and we can all learn it right now, can reduce levels of cortisol. That's the stress hormone. They did testing. They swabbed the inside of the participants' mouths and measured how much cortisol, and they found that the cortisol levels could drop from 20 to 40% with just tapping. So it's all you. I turned it off.
Now you see why I paid attention in school. Edutainment is not new. You just didn't have my teacher. And so tapping, one thing I want you to get when it comes to tapping, and not just tapping, what's the common thread of everything that's been mentioned? I'm going to be quick, so I'm going to give you the answer. Everything comes from a thought. Everything. I don't walk across doing this. I don't sit down. I don't scratch my head. I don't think about this, that, or the other. Everything in life comes from a thought. I'm going to use this book, not because I go way over in the book, but in the beginning was the Word. So let's get clear on that. Everything comes from a thought. So when it comes to tapping, the first thing you want to do is create the thought that you want to bring into your body. Because we're going to cause your body to relate from one side to the other. So the first thing I'll do with people is, and you can do this for yourself as we're about to do this, you set an intention or you create a mantra, a thought that you want to bring into yourself. So my thing is peace in the world. So an easy one is, I am peace, or I am creating peace, or however you want to do that. But that's the first thing. You take your opposite hand from your dominant hand, and you have the 3 fingers in the middle. You're going to use those as your tapping. And we're going to tap on different spaces. And what you'll do is with that, whatever your intention is, you're going to tap that 4 times as you say it to yourself. So the first spot is your opposite eyebrow. So if you've got your left hand, you tap your right eyebrow, and you say to yourself as you breathe in, I am peace. As you breathe out, I am peace. And you do that 4 times. So go for it. And then the next spot you're going to go is underneath your nose, right above your lip. Same thing. I am peace. And you keep going. So you've done it 4 times. And then the next spot, you're going to go on your chin. Same thing. I am peace. And just begin to notice how this is interacting in your body. What's happening as you shift this on a cellular level inside. And now we're going to your opposite temple. So you tap it on your temple, on the right side if you're left-handed, using your left hand. If you're right-handed, you're tapping your left side. 4 times there. Now you're going to go across to your opposite collarbone. So if you've got your left hand, tap your right side of your collarbone. Same thing. Moving it with your breath. And then finally, we got 2 more. But the next one is underneath your opposite armpit. smiling a little bit. So you're tapping, 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 I am peace. And then finally, on the top of your head. And then just pause. And just breathe. Notice where you are. How does it feel? I mean, it works. I've done it with people that have major illnesses and watched them shift major illnesses. Cancer, HIV. I've helped people get out of wheelchairs by just creating the thought. And the firing of just tapping on the opposite side of your brain and moving through like that creates that space. Thank you.
It's not the main event, not yet. But I just love tapping, and I know that it works because I've read the research and I felt it myself. Look up Sid's video and do it with him on YouTube. You'll see how you feel. You really will feel the change. Again, like all of these techniques, the time to teach is when
It's also something great that you can do at a faculty meeting or when you're meeting with teachers and staff is to just take a few minutes to offer this for them, but also something that they can do with their students as well. So everything that we'll do here in this exercise is really multi-purpose. So I invite you to just kind of come towards the end of your seat a bit so that your feet are flat on the ground. And everything today is really about awareness. So noticing how you're feeling and choosing with conscious choice of how you want to move forward. If you're holding anything in your lap, you're welcome to continue to do that or to just kind of set it to the side. You've been sitting a lot, but now you're going to sit on purpose. So you ground your feet into the floor and let your head kind of lift towards the ceiling a little bit more. Begin to breathe on purpose and just notice your breath. That's great. As you breathe in, sit a little taller. As you breathe out, twist a little bit deeper. Now your right hand, if it feels comfortable, some of you are already doing that. That's great. You could take it to the chair next to you. If you know your neighbor, you could give them a little pat on the back. If you don't know your neighbor, you can still give them a pat on the back. Right? And follow your breath, breathing in, and a little twist on your exhale. Then come on back to center. We're going to switch to the other side. So this time, grabbing for your opposite leg. A lot of this is just your intuition. Your body knows what it needs. We just don't always give it the time, or we don't always listen. Bringing that awareness back into your thoughts and into your body. As Dr. Cohen talked about the different anxious thoughts students and we as adults can have, when we're still is when they can sometimes come to the surface. I taught a 12-week yoga program in Baltimore City, and it wasn't until the 12th week that students would even lay on their back and close their eyes because they were so scared of what might happen if they weren't on edge and prepared for it.
So the first thing you're going to do is, like Liz talked about, is getting still. So you want to ground your feet. Meditation, when it comes to setting up your posture, if you have to, you could lay down. Now, what I tell people when they are meditating is, if you're going to lay down, you just have to make sure you can stay awake. Because that's called sleep. That's not called And then, I make sure that people know. People are like, well, can I do it in my bed? What do you do in your bed? Sleep. Okay, no. You might want to get out of your bed. So the first thing is setting it up. So getting still, grounding your feet, making sure that your spine is long so you lift through the top of your head. And then some people have anxiety by closing their eyes. So you can just simply look down at a single spot, or you can close your eyes. And at 8 years old, the number one thing that I was told was, be still. So whenever I start meditation, the first thing I think is, become more still than ever before. And I'm gonna give you the four steps to the foundation of meditation as I've been taught for 47 years. First one, be still. More still than ever before. Second step, begin to notice your breathing. Your natural breath as it moves in and out of your body. When you pay attention to your breath, you become truly present to the moment where everything is okay. So just observe your breathing, how your breath is moving through your body. Now, as you continue with your breath, the second step, Dr. Cohen showed it. Your awakening breath is a box breathing. So breathe in for a 4 count. Notice the pause at the top of your breath for a 4 count. Gently exhale for a 4 count. And land in the pause at the bottom of your exhalation for a 4 count. And continue with that. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the second step. Just continue with your awakening breath. The third step is to take your awareness into your heart center, where all the energy comes into your body. So now as you continue with your breath, in the pause, notice 4 heartbeats. Feel the beat of your heart. You may go deeper and feel the vibration that starts each heartbeat. And then your exhalation for 4. And at the pause, 4 heartbeats. You may even start to notice that on your inhalation, the pause, your heart beats stronger. Your exhalation may be a little different. And then finally, the practice of no mind. You take your inner gaze towards your forehead center. In the practice of no mind, we have these buzzwords. Mindful. It's not about being mindful. We're not filling up your mind. We're allowing space in your mind. So in between the thoughts, allow yourself to be aware of the space between the thoughts. If a thought comes up, just simply observe your thought. And then watch it pass and go back to the gap. The greatest anticipated peace happens in the gap, where time falls still and everything is easy. feel it. That's what I love about peace, about this life I live of chasing peace. You can hear it, it has a sound. Peace has its own sound. Peace has its own feeling. It is where everything is birthed. And until we start to really cultivate peace, we will continue to see chaos, which is an illusion. Peace gives us access to love. So the more we help a child find peace, they then understand love, which, if you know love, love is everything. The opposite of love actually is nothing. It's an illusion. Anxiety, an illusion. Because it actually, looking at it from love, anxiety, Dr. Cohen just showed you all the different ways that anxiety can help you driving a car, navigating life. That's the love that has been created. To see it differently is actually an illusion. So finding peace gives us access to more of that. And I'm going to leave you with this one. This is what my grandma taught me a long time ago. So you have to put everything to your side. You're going to stand up. Breathe in. Breathe out.